Hey everybody, Chris here, 4Directions Bushcraft. Just chilling out in the woods today. I'm gonna have some coffee and I'm on the Fatwood hunt, as you can see. And I just wanted to do a quick video on where I'm finding some good Fatwood. And believe it or not, this here is from the roots. This root system. Now, this isn't going to be so good up here. Of course, when I'm looking for Fatwood, I always take a chip out of it, and you can see the colors in there. That would take a lot of processing, but I've taken some out of there, and of course, as you can see, some out of there. I forgot my tripod today, so we're gonna start a quick, see how this starts up. I always like to test it, and then we're gonna do some other stuff, so stay tuned. The glory of Fatwood. And so that's a root system. Now some root systems are really porous, like that. You see how that's real punky wood there? And we try not to get that. The farther you go down, the more punky it'll get. But this upper root is really nice. Alright, so as you can see, that's the top of that root system that I just showed you. And you see these striations in the tree, where the tree has rotted in between each one? Normally those striations will always be really good Fatwood. Of course, a lot of times there's too much processing involved in order to get all that. Now you see the colors here where the striations are? That's all real good Fatwood in there, obviously. Now, I've gone ahead and cut through this, and you can see the really good color in there. See, all that is really good Fatwood, you see that? But as you get down underneath, it seems to just stop. And this is all not so good. And what really tricks a lot of people is that this is, you know, freshly cut. So when I take it home and put it wherever I put it, it's gonna lighten up. And as it lightens up, it doesn't look as good. That doesn't mean it isn't as good, it just doesn't look as good. So that'll fool even me. It fools me sometimes, like, oh man, did I really get a really good piece? And that's why I try to test everything out here in the field when I'm processing it. But you can tell that is super good stuff right there. There you go. And you can see that's not so good. It almost fools you. This top layer is probably good, but you'll have to process that a little more. You can see the color, but I want it to be that color all the way through, and that's the goal, obviously. And we'll keep looking. So here's the example. I went ahead and batoned that in half, and you can see this is pretty good up here, but it just stops almost. And most of that is just wood. So it looks really good and then just kind of stops. And that's as you get up into the trunk. So the root system and the end of the trunk, it doesn't seem to be as good. So we'll leave that behind. But that's part of the hunt. Sometimes you get stumped. You really think it's good, and then all of a sudden, it doesn't turn out. See, that looks pretty good almost. It's getting there. And then just kind of dies down. But at first glance, it looks really good. So if we look up this dead pine, all those branches sticking out, every one of those would be good, I guarantee it. Especially 6 inches out from the trunk of the tree. And there's a ton of them laying on the ground. This is one of my favorite spots to go. The pine trees, you can tell, they start right here. Here's the line, and they go all the way back, I mean for miles. All right, here's a downed pine tree, and all these branches sticking out are fantastic for fatwood. I just clipped the side of that one, and you can tell by the color and the smell that it's going to be really, really good. So I chopped down, and we're going to go ahead and take that. Now I won't know if it's all or how far it goes up. You know, it probably only goes up to here. I won't know until I process it down, but that's a good way to find it. Here's one that I've cut. You can see attached obviously to the tree like this, and you can see the color. In the middle of that. Now this I'll get rid of, and this I'll get rid of. But if I nick this, I'm sure it's really good, really nice color as well. Camera won't stay focused. All right, here's an interesting thing that I've seen about trying to find fatwood is, you see all this decay? It's just real soft and decayed. Well, when you're looking for good fatwood, you want to skip through all that, obviously, because the fatwood in a pine tree is going to stop the decay. So this is what I want to bring you to. See in there? This is the same tree. It's real nice. Looks real nice. Well, this is real hard. This is already the hard. See, it's already, most of this is already decayed off. This is still soft, yeah, but most of this is already decayed off. And it's real rigid and hard down that way. But real soft here. So this is still decaying off. And this is almost where the decay stops. Now that's a good indicator for good fatwood, because fatwood's not going to decay. So I'm going to take some of these limbs. I want to correct myself. Now, the fatwood will decay after time, but it's going to take a lot longer. I found fatwood that's, you cut into it and it almost looks like fatwood, but it's real soft and decayed and almost petrified looking. See, now that I cut those branches off, or that one branch off, you can see in there that's pure. That's what we're looking for. Alright, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is where 3 branches came together. And if you open it up, you see all that Real nice fatwood in there where they each connect. Now I can get fatwood out of each one of those. It's the processing that is the bear. A lot of times I like to scan the forest, of course, for anything. And I come across and you see that dead stump sticking up. Let's go see how that looks. Now this beast, the same as before, everything around it is decayed, and now you just got this hard, hopefully resinous trunk. Now the majority of the fatwood is going to be down here normally, and this might have a little fatwood in it, but the higher content is going to be lower. And all these limbs, like I said, you can count on those. You see the striations? Those striations are normally fatwood, really good fatwood, because everything is decayed around the fatwood. See this big striation sticking out from the trunk? All that is fatwood. Now, it's processing all that. You know, is it worth your time? Really, is what it comes down to. And how big of chunks are you going to get out of there, you know? The sun is right in your guys' eyes. I don't know if you can see that, but that's fatwood in there. But we'll see. Let me take a bigger chunk out of here. So I just took a chunk out of the base of this, and it looks fairly good in there. The more you get centrally located in there, though, the better it's going to be. So I would imagine this one's pretty good. So we'll have to take a little bit of that. Now you see the top of this stump. So I just took a chunk out of there. It was pretty good. But you notice the top. Now there's some in there, but it's just not very good. So that's the difference there. Come with me on this fatwood find. Show you some of my strategies for my fatwood hunt. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for your views, your comments, and all your support. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Have fun out there.